Hello, learners! Welcome to our writing practice. In this class, we'll learn how to write a short argumentative response expressing our opinions on education. Today's argument is about whether character development should be prioritized over academic learning in early education. This lesson is for those who want to develop their ability to present ideas clearly, or how we can organize our thoughts. So, if you're looking to refine your writing and communication skills, whether for professional situations or for personal contexts, I truly hope you find the tips here helpful. This is also going to be a step by step process, and I highly encourage you to follow along so that we can share our output afterwards. The class is divided into 3 segments. First, we'll brainstorm. In this section, we'll explore the main topic and learn techniques for generating ideas before we write our response. Next, we will discuss researching. Here, we'll learn how to research our points and opinions to support the main argument. And finally, we'll learn how to write a structured response. We'll go over the basic format and we'll take inspiration from debate writing structure and an argumentative essay. Now that we have everything covered, let's jump right into the first section. In the topic introduction, let's first clarify the prompt and the main argument in this case. I'll be reading this debate topic from VersyTalks.com. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to read on your own. The debate topic asks, should schools prioritize character development over academics in early education? Character development involves fostering traits such as empathy, resilience, responsibility, and ethical values, while academic education focuses on foundational skills like reading, writing, mathematics, and science. The distinction between academic achievement and moral cultivation comes from ancient philosophies like Aristotle's virtue ethics and Confucian ideals. In the 20th century, education focused heavily on academic success, driven by standardized testing and global rankings. However, contemporary research in developmental psychology emphasizes the importance of social emotional learning, SEL, in early childhood, demonstrating that skills like self-regulation, cooperation, and problem solving are crucial for long-term success. Now let's do a topic breakdown. Remember, you don't need to have a solid stance in the beginning. Before you decide if you agree or if you disagree, pause and observe first. We're going to use a more organized approach of brainstorming by asking ourselves a few questions. First, what do I know or don't know about this topic? Second, what assumptions am I making? Third, what are the pros and cons? And fourth, what other questions, ideas can I explore? I'm going to use these 4 questions to demonstrate how to generate ideas, but feel free to select a few later on. You can also make your answers as detailed or as brief as you wish. The goal here is to gain a better understanding of the argument. It's going to be easier if we go back to our prompt and highlight what we can from there. Let's start with the basics, such as the definition of terms that's already given, and also the things that we can use to further clarify the argument. So I know that character development includes skills like empathy, resilience, and teamwork, while academics focus on literacy, math, and science. They didn't mention more about childhood education or early childhood education. I'll add the definition just to be more specific. According to Wikipedia, it relates to teaching children from birth to age 8. I also want to highlight this part regarding 20th century focusing on academic achievement and the research today about SEL because it can be something that I might want to explore later on. And of course, there are also aspects that we don't know about. I suggest writing these in question format as a signal to research these topics further or possible counter arguments. I'm not exactly sure how we measure the impact of character development on long term success. I'll write that down here. And I also want to know if there are studies comparing character focus versus academic focused in early education. I'm curious, what do parents and teachers think about this prioritization? Honestly, I can stop here and navigate my way to a stance already. The ideas that I have are helping me lean towards a response that I'd like to focus on. But let's still examine a few assumptions regarding this issue. The first one that I can think of is time. Time is often considered. Another one, also quite connected to this, academics are more important for future success. This assumption is quite prominent in my opinion because it reflects the view that academic achievement translates to career readiness and even financial stability in an economic point of view. The last assumption I can think of is about the parents. It's a parent's job to teach their kids character development. And I'm really interested in this assumption, first of all, because I tend to hear it. It also stems from the belief that teachers are in charge of the academics while parents shoulder the rest. Now that we're finished writing our assumptions, let's take it a step further and create a pros and cons list. I won't go into details because I'll be using the notes I previously shared, just categorizing them. Once I'm done, I'll present the final output. We're finished with the first segment. Nice work. We've brainstormed ideas and it's time to research and find sources to support our opinions. The next section is just for that. There are 3 steps to consider when researching: before, during, and after. You can do the same thing. What's one question from your brainstorm that you'd like to expand on? Write it down and look for evidence. Now, during researching, let's use reliable sources such as academic journals, government reports, or trusted news outlets. The common ones are Google Scholar, Semantic Scholar, for example, NIH, PubMed, etc. I usually avoid opinion pieces unless they're from experts in the field, just to make sure that I'm getting reliable materials. After researching, we can look at our output. Does it change our stance? Does it add something to it? Does it challenge it, for example? We can update our opinion with what we've learned. I also like summarizing my ideas before writing my response. I'm going to take an opposing stance in this topic. Let me provide examples that support and present a neutral stance as well as a positive stance. What we're aiming for in this part is to make sure we support our opinions with facts through reliable materials. We also want to avoid any confirmation bias, which can make our response less strong. And once everything is set, we're ready to write. Here's the structure that we're using. Let's put our stance in the beginning. We need to reiterate our side clearly so that we can provide clarity. Second is reason and support. We put the strongest reason because it grabs attention and adds depth. At the last part, we can present a counter argument, a rebuttal, or a conclusion to summarize everything. My stance is schools should not prioritize character development over academics and early education due to insufficient training and support for teachers. The reason behind this is because early childhood is a critical period for cognitive development, where neural pathways for learning languages, math, and logic are most flexible. Many early childhood educators are trained primarily in academic instruction rather than social emotional learning. Without specialized training, teachers may struggle to effectively integrate character development into their curriculum, risking superficial or inconsistent delivery. A study conducted by Asri and Deviv in 2023 examined the challenges in implementing character education in early childhood education, including gaps in teachers' understanding, lack of resources, and issues with student behavior. Inconsistent implementation and lack of parental involvement are also significant barriers to maintaining long-term impact. Additionally, teachers report a lack of attention and support from the government regarding moral education. While character development is important, early childhood is crucial for cognitive growth and establishing academic foundations. Due to current limitations in teacher training and resources, prioritizing academics is a pragmatic choice to ensure effective instruction during this stage. Eventually, well-supported character education programs can be integrated as systemic improvements occur. Now it's time to create your own. Use the templates to incorporate your ideas clearly. You can also refer to these questions for additional guidance, such as what is your stance? What are your strongest reasons? What is the best counter argument that you have? And like I've mentioned earlier, feel free to share your responses in the comments or even post them on VersyTalks. And there we have it. I hope you found the class engaging and informative. I'm very interested as well in seeing your finished output. Thank you so much for dedicating your time to studying with us here. If you have any questions or suggestions for future classes, the comment section is always open. Feel free to leave anything there. They're always welcome and appreciated. Remember to take care, and I look forward to seeing you in our next class. Have a great day. Thank you.